What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while and I just wanted to make a quick update video basically explaining why I haven't been making that many videos that much with the RSX, or any videos really. I do have the EP3, but this is the main content car, so just wanted to explain why I haven't really been uploading with it. I kind of slowed down uploads. Once I installed the Craftworks supercharger, you can see the intercooler right there, and I will explain why that comes into the equation in a minute. Okay guys, so basically the main reason why I haven't been uploading that much is because, for the most part, the car is pretty much undrivable, or it was at least. So when I say undrivable, I mean drivable in a safe way. Basically, this car was super unsafe to drive, and I mainly noticed once I upgraded my tires to the stickier NT05s, and I installed the Craftworks supercharger, which increased the power from like 200 horsepower all the way to, it's like somewhere in the low 300s. So that obviously is going to stress all of the suspension. It's going to stress everything more, and if you have any weak spots, any potential areas where there's something that's not completely set up right, it's going to make that problem times 10. So that's basically what has been happening to me. So the front suspension on the RSX and DC5 platform gets a lot of criticism. The main reason is because when you lower the car substantially, you basically screw up everything, and a lot of people try to correct it with all kinds of things that aren't even necessarily doing anything right. So I think the main bad rap that the DC5 RSX platform gets is because of misinformation. If you know how to set up the front of these cars correctly, you can drive them just as fast, or not faster, and make it handle better than a lot of other cars. You know, any other cars, 8th gen, 9th gen, even the older double wishbone setups, this chassis can be very competitive. So I'm going to explain the problem I was having, and then I'm going to explain a lot of the changes that I've made to make it basically handle way better. So first thing I gotta say is take a look at this clip. So this clip is from when I first boosted the car, and I'll just let the footage speak for itself. So as you can see there, guys, the car is pretty much undrivable. Basically the whole time I'm driving, I'm having to fight the steering back and forth. The car is going all over the road. The weight is transferring side to side. It's like a crazy, terrible, terrifying experience. And I kind of didn't want to film content with this car just because it was so scary. Okay guys, so let me show you all of the changes I have made to the car. Okay, so the first thing that I did, and it's easiest to see, is I flipped the camber plates. Now when I say flipped, I mean I swapped the right or left and right. So now this one is at sort of like a sideways angle, as you can see, like a 45 degree angle now. And basically what that allows is for me to adjust caster and camber at the same time. So now putting it at a 45 degree angle, I can also adjust it backwards, which gives me more caster angle, which is the angle of the strut, like this. Next, I replaced the tie rods. I had replaced them previously with some like OEM replacement ones that ended up failing on me, and they had a bunch of play, which was another reason why my car was pulling all over the place. But I have actually installed my DC5 Creations rack riser upside down. So the main problem people have with this car is they think that the flatter tie rod angle is better. It's not. You want your tie rods to point towards your instance center, which is a completely complicated subject and I'm not going to get into, but I'm just going to say that you need more tie rod angle on these cars if you are lowered. The closer you are to stock height, that's when you want it to be flat. As far as bump steer is concerned, I have actually jacked the car into the air with the wheel facing forward, and when the tie rod angle is flatter, as in when I have the stock riser, the wheel actually toes out as you jack up the car, and then as you set it back down, it toes to normal. Whereas now, the wheel barely toes at all. It has almost zero bump steer. So as the wheel is going up and down, it's pretty much staying completely straight. I also want to point out, if you don't have an SHG steering rack slider, you need one right now. I've had it in the car, it's made it so much better. And one more thing while we're still in here, there is a rack adjustment. It is a nut on the bottom side of the rack. You can see it right there. It's that hexagon underneath the rack. That requires a special tool from Honda, and you loosen it and then tighten the 14mm adjustment until it gets snug, and then you want to back off just a hair, and it will basically tighten your rack to, there will be less play in your rack, because basically over time stuff wears out in the rack, and that's how you counteract that. Okay, the next couple things I'm going to show are actually inside the wheel well, and it's going to be kind of hard to show you, but you can see in here I have installed, you see those red bushings? Those are energy suspension lower control arm bushings. I will be upgrading those to PCI caster adjustment spherical bushings. Also, very, very importantly for these cars, I have upgraded to extended ball joints for the lower control arms. Those are from, I believe they're Megan Racing or Hard Race. Pretty much the same part. Pretty much the same company too. They just have different names. I don't know why. Now what that does, and I keep using my phone as a reference, but normally when you lower the car, your lower control arm goes upward like this, making it so you don't get any more negative camber gain. I'm not going to explain this also in like great detail, but basically as the wheel goes up, it's supposed to have a camber arc, so the higher it goes up with a bump, or the higher you, the more it goes up with a bump, the more it cambers in. If you have a inverted control arm like this, basically as it goes up, it'll just stay the same or even camber positive, which is really bad for handling. So you want the extended ball joint, and the control arm bushings are really good for toe changes, because basically that compliance bushing is the only thing preventing the wheel from moving backwards and forwards. So you want stiffer bushings. Like I said, I will be upgrading to the spherical ones that have zero play, so that the wheel will not move at all. Quickly, this rack riser setup I have right now, I'm going to be getting rid of. I'm going to be going back to the stock rack riser, because I upgraded my outer pickup points so that it'll have the same angle. Basically, I'll be able to have the same tie rod angle. Like I said, more is better when you're this low, but I'll be able to use the stock riser that doesn't mess with Ackerman or any of the weird stuff. Also, I'll be able to run my strut bar that goes down here again, because I had to take that out just to fit the backwards rack riser. And the reason why I am upgrading the outer pickup point is because my coilover arms, so basically the coilover arm where the pickup is for the tie rod is straight across on these coilovers, because they're the BC Racing Extreme Low. I've ordered this black part with the arm for the regular BC coilovers, and that one has the standard stock style upward pickup point, so it has the angled upward pickup. So what that does is it raises the outer tie rod so that you have, once again, more angle, and then I can get rid of that rack riser that's upside down right now. One last thing that I've done, I've replaced the rack bushings. So there's two in there and one on the other side. I replaced them with polyurethane, and I also custom machined the one on that side because it's like oval shaped to allow play. I custom machined it to be circular so that the metal piece is what I'm talking about inside the rack bushing. I machined it so that it's circular now, so the rack doesn't have as much play in it. It has like a design that allows for a little bit. I guess it's in case you get in an accident or something, it doesn't mess everything up and break everything, but makes the car kind of drive all wobbly all over the road. So Yeah, so rack bushings also. I don't know if I mentioned this also, but those are hard race tie rods, inner tie rods, and you actually have to run a, like, I believe it's a Toyota Corolla. Don't quote me on it, I don't know the part number, but it's like, you'll find it, there's like forums on Club RSX and stuff, which outer tie rod you need to fit the shorter hard race inner tie rods. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna do a couple pulls, and that was kind of a lot of mumbo jumbo, so I'll just do some pulls and I will show you guys the difference that it has made. Alright guys, so I'm gonna try to do the same exact pull as the other clip in the same place, and you guys can see the difference in how this car reacts. Handles a lot better. I can basically even change lanes. I was able to look away from where I'm going for a minute and change lanes, and yeah. So the car obviously pulls a lot straighter now. It still has a little bit of torque steer, and a couple of things I could do to improve the driving dynamics a little bit are those spherical front bushings, and also when my new coilover lower mounts come in for the tie rods, when those come in, I will be swapping those out and removing the upside down rack riser. That upside down rack riser just gives the rack a little bit more leverage to move around and do things that are kind of undesirable, so I'd rather not have that. I'd rather have the stock one that's right in the middle. Another issue that I have noticed now that the weather is a lot colder, it's about 40 degrees, 50 degrees out now, as opposed to in the summer in California, it's about 100 degrees every day. My injector duty has been spiking at 100. So basically, the colder weather means there's more air molecules, they're packed more densely together, so I'm using more fuel to compensate for the more boost that I'm basically producing into the engine. So I have the Hondata app open, and if I were to do a pull, this injector duty number, instead of being at 3, it would be at 100, which means it's 100% maxing the injectors. My air-fuel ratio is staying good while that's happening, but it's not good to be at the 100 level, because that means that, let's say it were to get any colder or there were to be anything that would happen, the ECU is not going to be able to add any more fuel to adjust, and then I will have a lean condition. So yeah, not favorable. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might upgrade my injectors. I have to reach out to my tuner, Yash Tuned, see what he thinks, and I'll go from there. But I'll try to do a pull to show you guys if this thing fully maxes out. Okay, I'm gonna do a baby pull here. I have the injector duty open, so let's see if it maxes. Yeah, so as you can see here, okay, you see right here, that part of the graph where it spikes at the top and flattens out like a plateau? Yeah, that's 100% injector duty. So basically, injectors are at max there, and I'm pretty sure I can pull up in a sec here. I can show you guys how many revs that was at. All right, yeah guys, so as you can see, as soon as it hits my soft limiter, which is at about 8,400 RPMs here, it basically, there we go, 8561. The soft limiter is like 8500, so it goes slightly above that, but the hard limiter is 8600. Basically, right when it gets to that point, we are maxing out the injectors. So it's really steep here at the end. I don't know if it's doing that because I have a soft limiter. For the most part, from how I understand it, it's just because it's too cold out. There's too much boost. It's at about 9.5 pounds of boost, which is a lot. So basically my injectors are like capped out, maxed out. So might have to upgrade them. Alpha Injection Clinic is looking like a really good option. Hit me up if you're watching this video, Alpha Injection Clinic. I would be pleased to work with you guys. But yeah guys, so that's basically gonna wrap up my little update video here. Once again, it's just a little update because I really haven't had any content to post with the car. I promise I have been doing stuff and just trying to sort out things so that I can get content flowing once again. And yeah, there's some cool stuff I have planned in the future, so stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you guys for you know, all the people who've been watching since day one. There's a lot of people who come back. Roy, when are you gonna upload? I just want to say thank you to all you guys out there. I really appreciate all the support. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. As always, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.